Once upon a time, deep in the heart of a magical forest, where birds sang sweet songs and flowers danced with the breeze, there lived a lion. But this was no ordinary lion. He was cruel, fierce, and feared by every creature in the jungle. His name was Zoran, and every day he demanded one animal be sent to him for lunch. Those who refused, well, no one dared refuse. The jungle was silent. The joy, the laughter, the freedom all had vanished. Even the wind whispered in fear. But in a quiet corner of the forest, there lived a small, soft-spoken rabbit named Rumi. He was no warrior, no fighter. He didn't roar, he didn't scare anyone. But he had something even more powerful, a sharp, clever mind. When Rumi's name came up to visit the lion, everyone cried, believing it was his end. But Rumi wasn't afraid. Instead, he smiled and said, "Perhaps it's time this lion learned a lesson. What could a tiny rabbit do to a ferocious lion? Could cleverness really defeat cruelty? Let's find out in this tale of wit, courage, and the belief that brains can conquer even the wildest beasts." Long time ago, the forest was a happy place. Animals lived in peace, children played beneath tall trees, and birds painted the sky with their songs. But ever since Zoran the lion declared himself king, the forest lived in fear. He claimed that being the strongest gave him the right to rule, and each day he demanded a different animal to sacrifice itself for his meal. One by one, brave creatures disappeared: deer, monkeys, squirrels, even a wise old tortoise. The animals called a secret meeting near the riverbank. "We can't live like this," cried the fox. "But who among us can fight a lion?" Silence. Then an old owl said, "We don't need muscle, we need brains." Everyone turned to the rabbit, Rumi, quiet, thoughtful, and always full of surprising ideas. "Me?" Rumi asked, his ears twitching. "Well, perhaps I can help." And so, the next day, Rumi was chosen to go to Zoran. But unlike others, Rumi didn't rush. He wandered through the forest slowly, picking herbs and humming softly. He even stopped to admire the sunrise. By the time he reached Zoran's den, the sun was high. "You're late!" Zoran roared, eyes blazing. "Do you wish to be eaten slowly?" Rumi calmly bowed. "Oh, mighty lion, I would have arrived earlier, but something terrible happened." Zoran narrowed his eyes. "Speak!" "Well," Rumi began, "on my way here, I was bringing another rabbit with me, bigger, plumper than I am. But we were stopped by another lion. He said he was the true king of this forest and would eat both of us." Zoran's eyes turned red with fury. "Another lion? In my forest?" Rumi nodded. "Yes, and he called you a fake. He even roared, 'Tell that coward Zoran I'm stronger.' Zoran growled so loud that birds flew from trees. 'Take me to him, now.' Rumi led the lion through winding paths, across streams, and into a deep cave. Inside, it was dark and cool, with water still as glass. "He's inside," Rumi whispered. "Look carefully, but don't make a sound." Zoran crept forward and peered into the water. And there, reflected in the pool, was a lion, his own reflection. Thinking it was the rival lion, Zoran roared and pounced straight into the deep, cold water. He splashed and struggled, but the rocks were slippery, and he couldn't climb back. The more he fought, the deeper he sank. Eventually, Zoran was washed far away by the river's current. Rumi stood at the cave's mouth, smiling gently. Back in the forest, the animals waited anxiously. When Rumi returned and told them what had happened, cheers echoed through the jungle. From that day on, the forest was free again. Laughter returned, the birds sang louder, and the air no longer carried fear. Rumi, the clever rabbit, became a legend. Not because he was the biggest or strongest, but because he used his mind when others used fear. Young animals looked up to him, and even the old owl chuckled. Wisdom wins again. And though no one saw Zoran after that, the cave by the river still glistened with water, reminding everyone that courage doesn't always roar. It sometimes whispers through clever ideas. So, if you ever feel small or powerless, remember the tale of the clever rabbit. Strength isn't just in your fists. It's in your thoughts, your courage, and your heart. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more interesting stories. And share this video with your friends and family. Thank you.